Okay, we definitely have a quorum, so the Southborough Tricentennial Committee is now in session. It's Wednesday, June 10th, and it's about 6:45. We'll go through the agenda, approving the meeting minutes of our last meeting, which was May 13th. Entertain a motion to approve them.
So moved. Seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any questions, comments? I read them. I read them fast, but I just didn't find anything that was okay, not okay.
That's good.
Okay, Joyce.
Thank you very much.
Any discussion here? Not all in favor? Morris, aye.
Burns Fury, aye.
Falcone, aye.
Hokinson, yes.
Oldershaw, aye.
Okay, thanks. Next item on the agenda is the status of events. There's been some research done on the banners and poles. I went to a couple of towns since our last meeting, took some pictures, and we have them here. And it was kind of interesting. And so I shared those with Patty, who is our banner person, and she came up with, is it these two here?
Yeah, these are just some rough, well, the third page is what we have already seen at the last meeting, I think it was. The second page is just some rough concepts, just to get the thought going based on the size that we're looking at and how it's going to happen.
So what I saw was, and I was a little surprised with this, is every town center that I looked at had lamp poles, black lamp poles,
Yeah.
except for Southborough.
Well, we tried very hard with the Main Street project,
Right.
and it was vetoed.
So our poles are all wooden telephone poles, but if you looked at some of the towns, there's a blend, including Ashland, where they have lamp poles with banners on them, and they look great. And they also had a few wooden telephone poles with the brackets on them, and maybe not a banner. They have very few in Ashland Center. And then I measured the height and width in Ashland and in Westboro, and comparing those to the other photos that we had taken, it looks like a banner 18 inches wide and 36 inches high is the most common and would probably fit us well. So I think with Patty's lead on this, we could put that behind us as to what size banner we want, and then maybe give Patty the leeway to select an appropriate bracket to put them on. So I'll go back to you, Patty, or we'll just open it up to everybody else on their suggestions.
So I have just been suggesting that this that is on the bottom of page 3, primarily because I can purchase it through a company that I have a wholesale account with, and so we can get them at a good price.
And these mount with the
that thing we were talking
screw
about.
clamp, stainless steel screw clamps. Yeah.
So I think that they're fairly standard when you looked at those ones that you showed with on the telephone pole. It's the same kind of screw clamp thing.
Yes.
So there's no permanent damage to the telephone pole. I mean, I'm happy to look at other places, but in the past I have not found commercial printers and such that compete with the wholesale prices that I get this place. As for the design, I mean, the design is up for option, whether we go with all the same banner looking alike, or maybe we choose like 3 different things. Like I was thinking maybe historic images of or images, photos of some of the historic buildings in town. Or, just, I don't know, open to suggestions. I guess what I'm throwing out there is it does not have to be the same banner on every single pole. It can be, but it doesn't have to be.
I have a question.
Yep.
So I don't remember the answer to this, so I apologize. Are these going to be put in all the villages? So,
We're gonna get to the count
Okay.
before, we're working right now on what Patty just said. Do we want them all the same? Do we want two different
Okay,
types?
so if we talk cost, what I had suggested at the last meeting where we discussed page 3 was that, once we decide on the size, we can come up with a per unit cost. And then that would help to make a decision how many you want to print and make based on how much money, can be spent. Now, part of it is the brackets could stay so that if the town wanted to do things down the road, which a lot of towns do, they would already have those in place. So I think that, one, we talk about size, determine the size, talk about the price per, and then set a budget, and that might determine. I mean, Dawn and I kind of discussed, a roundabout number of what we'd be looking at.
I think what I talked with Patty about was 5 for, and I since changed my mind on this, but it was like 5 for Fayetteville, 5 for Corderville, 5 for Southville, and probably 15 for Main Street. And
That's a total of 30.
so that'd be 30, but I'm thinking if on Central Street in Fayetteville, for example, we might want to put 1 or 2 on Oak Hill Road.
Yeah, or at the corner at least.
Yeah, and then coming off the causeway onto Central Street.
Yeah.
Might want to, so maybe like 6 or 7 in Fayetteville, and maybe the same number. So instead of 30, maybe we'd go with 40.
Mhm.
And if the price was right, we would go with 50 and maybe put 5 of them in the box in case people steal them or they get damaged. We'd have some backups.
Okay, are you talking about the brackets as backups or the banners?
The banners.
Oh, the banners are cheap. We don't need. Okay.
when you say cheap, how much is approximately
Um,
$50 each or?
for the banner?
Oh, okay.
No, I think for the total package. Now I get it. We want to do this 2-sided, right? I think we're probably looking at banner and hardware, $70 a piece. And I think I'm throwing in some shipping there. I need to make sure that, it is double-sided printing. Yeah, so I think we're talking probably $70 hopefully inclusive of shipping. But it depends on how many we do and how many we do of the exact same banner. The banner itself, if I did a banner only, 18 by 36, it's under $20. So for the future, if the town wanted to do something after the fact, it's fairly low cost to use these brackets and put up something else
Like hometown heroes.
or whatever.
So if we got 50, that'd be 3,500.
Mhm.
And then pretty much anything fewer than that would be, that's,
Professional, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but even if we shot for a, inclusive, because I think this is an important thing to have it on these streets and in all of these villages of the town so that people are seeing this on a regular. So I'd rather go heavy on it than light. And if we allocated, somewhere in $4,000 to $5,000 as a budget to get these produced.
Remember what we had for some of these?
I just told you.
No.
I don't think,
I
I'm
see.
not sure that we have included a price. Have we?
I can't stand for any. See, so the history thing that I said to that. So we're not.
Oh.
It's fine.
No, I don't. I don't know.
No, it's not, as far as I know, it's not on the agenda, but when we left you at our last meeting, we agreed to revisit it. There was great interest.
Can we put it on the July meeting?
Okay, I was gonna actually try to do some other things. That's for sure. So is there enough interest to talk about it some more?
I'm interested.
Okay.
I have questions and like some more information, but
No interest.
No.
No problem.
By the way, Sam, you just received very special attention because you interrupted us,
I'm sorry.
and we
and
let you.
you get your butt on the TV.
But your meeting hasn't started.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it's
6:30.
Oh, I'm sorry. Pardon.
That's-
I apologize. So,
No problem, because you're Sam.
I was getting ready to see it.
No, that's okay.
You know what? I'm gonna send,
Thanks, Sam.
Sam, I'm gonna send Vanessa an email now asking that be reserved for the next
Okay.
meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll come back. Thanks very much. Apologies again.
Thanks, Sam. So you're saying like 4,000 and 5,000 bucks, pops?
It does seem like we created an Excel of that discussion, didn't we? I'm not positive that was included on it, but let me see if I can find that.
Joyce, you had a version of that verbal breakdown that Kathy gave us back in April.
Yeah, so that might have been in the May meeting notes, in the minutes to approve for May.
No, for April.
But if it was the April meeting, minutes to approve in May.
Yeah.
So I said,
Okay.
I haven't seen anything, the May minutes,
did the May minutes include a breakdown of the budget from Kathy? How about if we keep moving on? I'll look in the meantime and see if I can find the Excel file. I think that it's, we don't need to argue 3,500 or 5,000 at this moment. We should just move on with the progress of this.
Right, so DPW gave us a map of all the poles in town that have a light on them. Some poles do not have a street light, but for most of the poles in the center of the villages and Main Street, of course, I think almost every pole has a light. Anyways, so these brackets will fit on those poles. And so I would recommend that we give Patty the leeway to go with a proper size and a bracket, which if it's right here in front of us, okay.
That's what I'm looking at.
And not to exceed 5,000 bucks. And try to put this in a finished state for purchase, and we can put the banners, the action on the banners behind us, with the exception of finding somebody to put them up.
So I did just find the Excel file from the meeting with Kathy. We don't have a number under banners. So we didn't, just, I don't know. I don't think we set a limit, but that's fine.
So based on the discussion tonight, I think that, does the committee feel comfortable with a limit of 4,000, limit of 5,000 at this point?
We should say a range from 3 to 5 or something like that.
Okay,
Okay, so for July, I will report back with I guess in the meantime, I can deal with people on regarding design via email, just sending out prompts. And how many we're going to print a firm budget. A firm design to be approved for next meeting. And then that's July, so then we could order it and have them to go up for August. So, well, actually, our sign bylaw or our bylaw says
August
August.
first.
Yeah. So if we work on getting this
That'd be the
manufactured in
earliest, yeah.
July, yeah.
But certainly
And
have them
also
up by the time September comes and everybody comes back to town.
confirm who's gonna do the installation.
Yep.
And, okay. And then you and I can work on the actual light poles to talk, and then talk to Mark about dealing with his
That's
National Grid contact.
So is everybody on the size? We good with 18 by 36?
Yes.
That's what Westboro has. And others. What about Michelle? Where's Michelle?
Does anybody have any thoughts on the design?
I really liked, I like the idea a lot. The one thing, it's sort of, this is nostalgic and I don't think that you could do anything like that, but back in the old days, they used to have like a banner across the busiest road, you know.
It's not gonna happen. I already know because of the discussions with the planning board and getting the bylaw passed to do this.
You know, as you maybe go up Route Porterville Road here, right in the center of town, to have a big sign.
Well,
across the
we
road.
can do one potentially on, you know, the town hall, house
Common.
area.
Library.
Or like where the vote now signs go up or something on, you know, public land, but
Yeah, I like them on
You
the
can't-
post then.
no, it can't go across the street. There was like all
Regulations.
freak out about safety and yada yada. No, I was just meaning that.
Okay.
Did you have any specifics on these designs?
Honestly, I think that anything was good, even the ones that Dawn had sent in the email, I liked all the designs.
Yeah, those are the ones
Yeah.
that are put together. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think they look nice too. Is there any room to get a like a link or anything like that on there?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't, yes.
That'd be great. You know, even like a URL shortener, so it's really short and memorable.
So-
All the ones I've looked at in all the towns. That's not there,
I
and
was
it's
gonna
because
say.
you're driving in the car.
Yeah.
No, I understand. They're not supposed to go to the website immediately. That's why I didn't propose a QR code. Right?
No,
See?
the QR code is not appropriate for a sign
You're
that's
10 feet up.
in that, yeah.
Well, there's that, right? It's something that they'll remember.
Just saying, I think.
You could always Google it. I mean, you know, you don't have to
Yeah, I mean,
have
this
a
is really-
www.
It's really for awareness.
Yep.
Primarily. I mean, depending on how, you know, the layouts work, I'm not opposed to something, you know, especially if it's a tiny URL or something. Yeah, okay.
I like the ones that feel decorative and I like the idea of mixing them up with some historic images. I think that would be fun. The ones that like popped off the page to me were the ones that were kind of broken up with like either the turquoise or the navy bar at the top and then the logo in the middle, bar at the bottom. But I like the idea of mixing those up with actual photo pictures. I think that would be interesting.
So we're all comfortable with Patty taking this and running with it.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, my only concern, I just have one, you know, because you can design the prettiest banner. But, you know, if it's like 5 o'clock in the morning or something like that, I feel like the colors, it needs to be you have to have it pop
Yeah,
up,
it
you
has
know
to
what I'm
pop.
saying?
I mean, you know, I've done billboards and it's like you have 3.5
trust you.
seconds to
Right.
To look.
get the concept from a
Yes.
billboard, you know? So yes, it has to be simple and it has to be, I'm not opposed, like I said, to like what Michelle was saying of
mix.
a mix.
Right.
You know, having one that's kind of the brand look and then others that are kind of more zoning in on the history thing. Yeah.
So if that was the case, I have just one suggestion, especially if they're gonna go to the villages, you could do a historic picture for each of
Yeah,
the villages.
Sure.
Who's we?
Well, we're gonna talk about
Patty.
We do have to also, as mentioning this to Don yesterday in our conversation, that we do also have to have essentially the blessing of this by the select board, which was part of getting the bylaw approved, was that if the select board controls whatever, the town, blah, 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 that they get to opine on, whether they like it or not.
I mean,
Move on to the next
Yes.
item. These are the photos of the different towns. Some are just showing how they're laid out relative to the American flags or to the light or to the sidewalk. The only ones that I saw that were less than 10 feet, the bottom of the banner was less than 10 feet from the sidewalk or the grass. It's bolted. All the other ones that I looked at were 10 feet, at least 10 feet. All right, we'll move on to the next item then. History in bloom. Michelle.
All right. Hopefully y'all can see me. So really no update for this one. The group, Gardeners Club approved, doing this. The date is expected to be April 15th to 17th. They've started to reach out to the teachers who have been liaisons in the past, and they're very excited about the project. They don't, they're on board with the history piece. So, it's sort of, it feels very set, but really no other details at this time.
You said April 15th, 16th, and 17th.
Yes,
Right.
that's correct. Yes, so the way that they've
I'll
organized
I'll
the
fix
event,
that,
Okay.
because I put 18, because basically they leave it up for a while,
Yeah, there's like an opening night though,
an
right?
opening night, but the real opening night, and then they leave it up, and then the pictures stay.
I think it was like a Thursday, wasn't it?
It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. Next item is the history tours of St. Mark's School.
yes, so at our last meeting, we were informed that Dr. Lyons, who's a faculty member at the school, he is working on the script. He's going to be doing that over the summer. This is something that would be given to student volunteers. So students who are leading the tours and then students who are stationed at each of the history points throughout the campus. They will have a working script that they'll give to each tour group. And we were also told that he's going to be pulling artifacts. And this was very exciting because for a while we didn't think that there would actually be physical items available to show. We had heard that some of them either maybe too valuable or maybe too fragile, but it's sounding like that is now an option on the table. So that's really cool that some things might be in each location and or at the start of the event space or at the end space. And so really like our working group kind of has, all of those pieces in place. The school will be working on the script and the artifacts over the summer, and then we'll be reconvening in September.
Excellent.
And yeah.
Questions, comments? Next, Family Day at Faith School. Michelle.
So this one's also in really good shape. The working group has spent a lot of time fleshing out the details of the event. So I put just a couple more items that we had in terms of timing, location, event flow in the notes for this meeting. one additional piece that we're working on this month is Nick Noble had outlined a coloring book for us, which is fantastic. He is obviously incredibly knowledgeable about Southborough, having written multiple books. And so he's adapted this as a student book, and we are working on it to make it appropriate for students age 5 to 8. So we're kind of fine tuning that this month. I have reached out to the public school superintendent because it would be wonderful to also have this distributed within the public schools. I have not heard back, but I will be persistent, and hopefully we can make that happen as well. But for sure, this book will be available at the Fay event. And then if not through public schools, then perhaps we can make arrangements with the library and have this also available there for students to pick up.
Who covers the cost of that book, of producing the book?
That's something that I had earmarked for our committee to do. I use the term book loosely. Really, it's like it's photocopied paper. So I don't want to oversell the book part of it. It's really like, just a coloring pages stapled together. So a while ago I had, and I think it's still in the notes, I had outlined the cost of just doing it at Staples. I'm sure, again, we can do it in even a cheaper way. At that point, it was like a couple $100 for, I forget the number that I had put in at the time, but a couple $100, I guess. Oh wait, here's my notes. For like if we did 100, it would be 362. So again, I don't know that that's sort of the amount to cover for the Fay event. I don't know what kind of numbers we'd be looking at if we were to distribute it in the public schools. So I think that's, just one piece that I'm hoping to get some more information about.
Michelle, is this gonna happen after the kids go to bed? Or is there a
Um,
typo on your dates, Saturday, February 20th, 10 to 12 a.m.?
Sorry, it should be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's just a typo. It should be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Right, yeah. I was hoping to get a laugh, but it didn't work. Anything
Sorry,
more on,
I was trying to understand why. I know why there was a typo because it was originally just 10 to 11 and we realized we had a more robust activity. So that's why.
excellent. Any questions, comments more on Facebook? Move on to the next one, which is awareness days.
Not much of an update. I did hear back from the woman who organizes the trail committee in Southborough, and she just wrote me a quick note to say, like, yes, we're on board with doing a trail day in person. And as I've noted before, that's probably one of the only in-person days. Everything else about this is just kind of social media awareness. But that would just be great to have something that highlights all of the trails and maybe introduces our trail system to more people who live in town. That's the only update there.
But it's moving in the right direction for you, for us?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Yep. Yep. The social media piece, that's easy. That's just, creating some posts. And then, just to hear that we may have some partnership on board to highlight the trails and actually do that as a in-person day is great. So I think all of that's moving in the right direction.
Very good. Next one is the music festival. We received in our packet an update from Keith. Any questions or comments on that? Sounds like it's going in the right direction there. Okay, thanks, Keith. Oral History Project, Graveyard Tour. Michelle,
Yeah, well, the oral history is moving right along and we are still seeking volunteers. I had put it on, the Grew Up in Southborough page and I have gotten, a great response from that. I actually did another one this afternoon and, every time that they come, I ask them to please tell their friends, their uncles, their aunts, anyone, and there's promise of more, and I believe that, there are people on this committee that might be interested in doing it. And it's really not an interview, it's a conversation. And, people, I mean, the guy who came today was from Connecticut. We had somebody come from New Hampshire last week, so, I hope that it keeps moving and growing. I am in the process of working with Terry, so we are now, I mean, we have these interviews and now we sort of have to format them and put photos to them, which is where I contacted Patty because there's a lot of photos on the state website of Southborough, which it looks like a lot of them, this book got from there. Is that true, Patty? You know?
There are images in that book from the state website as well as the archives of the Historical Society.
So I will
Is that the
email,
book that has is there a index in the back?
there is,
There should be credits in.
okay, I will look at that. I did not see any credits from them.
Oh,
Anyway. So there was an email from town council saying that we probably should just contact the historic society to get permission to use them.
so if it says SHS, that's the Historical Society, the ones that say Digital Commonwealth, and then I'll reference by page number.
Okay,
Um,
so the ones that say digital Commonwealth, we can use those, correct?
yes,
Without any issues. Anyway, so that's, we're getting into a little bit of the editing and design and format. We have some good ideas. Anyway, it's been very interesting listening. And I wish, that everybody had an opportunity to grow up in Southborough, Maybury, RFD. And as far as the graveyard tour, we did not meet this month, but Sally has gotten in touch with the Nipmuc tribe, and she said it's a very sensitive thing, and she's going to be working with them. So she's not sure that we could actually, I mean, for the Tricentennial, she'll be working, with them to get, I'm not really exactly sure, so I'm not going to speak for Sally. And she's just hoping that we get permission to use one of the Nipmucs that are buried in the OBG. So she's working on that, and we'll have more to come.
very good.
And I did, speaking of which, when I was at the studio today. And I had actually, I'm trying to also solicit bricks to these people. I mean, just sort of saying, we're doing our Tricentennial, this is for the Tricentennial, and we are fundraising if you want to purchase a brick so anyway. But what Terry said, and she's going to talk to Southborough Access Media to get permission to do that. She would like a member of the committee here to do sort of like a commercial to sell, to have an ad on Southborough Access Media for awareness to sell the brick. So she asked if
we probably don't even have to have a person, we could just do that digital, right? I mean, maybe with a voice overlay, I could put something together, like a PowerPoint or something that turns to a video.
she said no longer than a minute. She said, and she's gonna look for permission to do that. And she said, in between that she could just put that up for us.
Sure. I think that's a
I
great
thought it
idea.
was a great idea.
History makers,
Michelle?
Sorry about that. Yep, I'm here. So for history makers, we are in a good place. As noted before, we have our nomination form. The committee will be adding and seeking names to add to the list. We've added a couple more members to our working group, which is great. So we'll have about, I think we'll have at least 6 of us. Who will be able to help make the decision for those nominations once they come in. I guess one piece that we will need to know is we will be launching this in September. And so what is the timeline for when the 300th website will be ready, and when will marketing want information from us for blurbs and other pieces that are going to be going out either end of the summer or beginning of September?
Very good. Anything else on that? We'll move on to history talks.
I'm sorry, I don't think I heard an answer. Maybe there wasn't an answer.
She did ask the question.
I thought you said September. I thought that was a declaratory statement.
Yeah, so
So-
our event's launching in September, but we want to know, are you looking to have information from us next week because you're not going to be working September and July and August, or we're trying to make sure we're getting everything ready in advance for the website, for marketing promotion. I guess this is my way of finding out what's the timeline, and are those pieces going to be ready to launch when this launches in September?
The website will be launched before that. I don't have the bandwidth to put together marketing for other events. So that's gonna be up to you guys or Eric or somebody.
Michelle, I could work with you on that if you want.
Okay, that would be great. Yep, sounds good.
Yeah.
We can take that offline then. Thank you.
Thank you. History talks.
So I briefly talked to Ryan about, could we do something as part of the first day kickoff? We're looking into that. I'm scheduling to sit down with him again to go over both of our notes on this. I think the next step would bring him in for a conversation, maybe for the July meeting, if not then the August meeting, to kind of go over the concept and schedule that we're talking about. So if that seems feasible, I can try to put that in place.
Yes. So, when we pick a day to meet in July, then you'll be able to see if Ryan's available.
Well, also me, I'm not positive. Depends on that when we pick that day in July, whether I'm available. So I'd prefer to do this when he and I are both available.
House tour.
We are expecting to have the final, I don't know about the final, but a number of the houses locked in for September. I know there was another commitment recently, which was kind of exciting. I'm also working with her because we do like your contract for the parade. We need to have contract for both the homeowners and for the ticket buyers. Just an agreement, and I kind of have a draft of that, but the next step is for that to go to town council.
Did we have the last time we had house tours? Did we have that? Not us, but were there contracts?
There was one of those, and we are expanding upon that to provide a contract on both ends. To protect the homeowners and to protect the people that go into the homes.
Right, yeah.
Just covering all the bases.
Anything else on house tour?
No.
The
So,
parade,
so we should schedule, I am thinking we schedule her and hopefully for September, if not for October, we should have a big announcement of homes.
okay, the parade, contract was scrubbed by, town council months ago. But, she sent us a, list or a standards and regulations governing participation. And it was, I think it was 7 pages long, but it was recommended that you do something like that. We didn't have anything like that. So I went through it and, reduced it down to, I think, just about 3 full pages of, text or rules for participating in the parade, such as, no alcohol, no eating in the parade. If a float or a vehicle breaks down, what do the people behind have to do, which is to split, go around it, and then reconnect. There was one in there that, I definitely kept, which is, participants who have animals in the parade must have scoopers following the animals to leave the street in a clean condition for those to follow. So I thought that was kind of, important. So, the next step is for the parade contract and the, standards and regulations to go to the parade working group and have them, all of us, send, these out to the, people that we've already talked to bring them to the point of signing the contract, at an agreed price. So that'll be happening, now that we have the green light on contract and standards. So that would include, you, Eric,
The oxen.
yeah,
Yeah.
whoever you were dealing with. So you'll get an electronic copy of the parade contract and the standards to send to whoever we want as a participant.
Yeah.
And that'll be happening in the next couple of weeks easily.
Good, because I want to try to get that nailed down. I mean, you might remember they told me, oh, we won't even begin to think about that until next year. I don't feel comfortable waiting until next year, so.
Yeah. There's no harm in sending it out now, and then if they
Right.
want to wait, we'll just keep it going.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments on the parade? And the auction? Okay, first night, first day. I got an email from Andrew. I asked asked for a status on the drone show. And he said that essentially that they're discussing a contract.
That we've been discussing for 3 or 4 months.
You got any ideas on that one, Travis?
I think they're still going back and forth with it. There's some language on both sides they gotta clean up. I know Andrew's working hard on it.
Okay. Yes.
So this was like to use the political phrase now, no bid contract, right? I mean, were there discussions with other drone, was this put out to bid? Was this?
I don't know. I don't know who else they reached out to collect quotes. I know, is it 10 to 50? They have to get 3 formal written quotes per bid.
Right.
But I don't know if there's any kind of exemptions for firework displays. With the
So I don't know whether it's not the town that's contracting technically, although the town is reviewing this as the legal authority. So I think it would abide by the 3 quotes, which is a state law.
I would think so, yeah. And then I don't know if it's technically, if it's a friends of account, then if it's technically being put on by the Tricentennial, are you under the nonprofit umbrella or are you under the town? Like,
Well, but we have to provide all the legal assurances for the town because it's on municipal property.
yeah, I would think so. Well, St. Mark's, if they do it at St. Mark's, I know that's what they're flirting, what
Yeah,
they talked about doing for location. So yeah, but I would think, yeah, mass procurement rules and laws would apply.
okay.
I just don't know where they're at with
that
it.
there was any other quotes.
I don't know if Andrew got other
Yeah.
quotes. I'm sure he did. I don't know that on the back end. I wasn't super involved in
Yeah.
the contract collection and soliciting piece.
Okay, I think we need to check on that.
I will, I'm making a note. I'll check on that. Yep. Fireman's muster. Jamie sent us a very nice update on that. I'll turn it over to you, Jamie.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, sorry for not being here last couple of meetings. I was sick, one of them. Patty will attest to that. And then I lost my voice subsequently, and everybody around me seemed to like that a lot, but it wasn't very fun for me. Just some quick updates other than what I wrote. You know, we are putting our union tub into competition, so we're polishing it up and getting it ready for competition. We're heading up to Bath, Maine for July 5th. So the 4th and 5th we'll be competing up there. Kind of a test run because we've done some modifications to it, and so hopefully we're getting ready to hopefully win the 300 muster, right? So we also have gotten the full commitment of the fire department, and we also received the Falcon, which is Southborough's first fire engine, back in possession of our club, and it's now at our museum over on the other side of town, and our shop and museum. So we're working on restoring that as well, so it'd be in competition, and the firemen are going to love that. I think there has been some questions, maybe some fundraising concerns about how my club can quote fundraise, but I guess I'm not really fundraising. I'm trying to maybe look for some small donations to my club along the way. So I'm hoping that the club can maybe give me some clarification on the guidelines of what we've done. So because I've got a poster here that I made, and Patty and I had some discussions prior to the meeting on whether or not I've got permission to use the logo, and whether the title sponsor should be named and things like that. So I mean,
So I can just make a suggestion. One of Jamie's concerns was that he felt that we had not voted to approve his budget. We kind of thought we had, but maybe we could make that official. So I move that we approve a $25,000 budget based on this outline. Specific details to be finalized, but a total expense not to exceed at this moment $25,000.
Second.
Motion's been
Nice
made
guy.
and seconded. Any discussion?
No.
I like the way the motion says at this time,
At this,
because more information, more details may
Yeah.
change the
exactly.
price up or down. Yeah,
So you're gonna vote?
so motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Morris, aye.
DRI.
Falcone, aye.
Wilkinson, yes.
And
Bouldershaw, aye.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah, Patty, I mean, that takes pressure off of me
No,
trying
that's
to
fine, because now you can go and officially.
you can have some fun.
Yeah, that is.
Yes,
approved.
and I can tell the
Okay,
New England States
so
Firemen's Firemen's
now-
League that we're.
Now
ready.
let's tackle this second topic.
Oh, also, by the way, we did host their league meeting. The New England States Firemen's League has a quarterly meeting. And the first quarter of this year, we hosted the meeting, and we had a ham dinner. We had 80 people from around New England come, and they voted. They actually stamped the seal of the
To support.
approved the support the muster. And so we're trying to actually include New York, which has never been done before, to open it up to try to get more tubs and more participation.
Okay, so now let's tackle the second part of this
Yeah,
topic.
that's stuff.
Okay. I don't know that we need to leave this for the other issues because I think it goes beyond Jamie's issue here. But we can start, and if you think we need to put it at the end of the meeting, that's fine. So looking at this, having been involved in both the fundraising committee, as you know, Dawn, and this committee, also having a background of 30+ experience in design, marketing, and branding, I think that we need to set some standards. And at this moment, I don't know what those are. I think that we need to create brand standards. And I think that, it's kind of a lot of this back behind the scenes stuff, like, getting a bylaw passed.
Agreed.
That isn't, a lot of fun, but needs to get done. Because, for example, and I'm not picking on you.
No, I
really.
understood.
So Jimmy showed his flyer, which is promoting his organization and the fireman's muster. And it has a donation form, but it's using our logo. So this donation is made to the club and not to the 501c3 or the Tricentennial. And I'm not blaming him because we have not set these standards. The other issue is that the fundraising committee, when they were moving fast at the beginning and had people, had sold a sponsorship, I believe, committed sponsorship for this muster. And there was a contract, because I helped work on these contracts, saying what the sponsor would get for each level of these sponsorships. And among what they get is their brand on promotional materials. So my question is, Jamie, not putting on his other hat as a member of this club, as president of this club that is putting together this muster, where does their branding, where does their marketing stop? Or where does the Tricentennial marketing stop? Or where does it overlap? Because does every marketing piece that club put out have to include the sponsor for that event? My lead indication would be to say yes, because 100% funding for that event is coming from us and our 501c3. So how far does that carry? Can he solicit donations for his club while also promoting this event for the Tricentennial? So I think I probably need to do a little research in how this is handled by other organizations and put together, kind of a SLP on it, probably run that by town council. And then,
Yeah, my thing would be,
bring it for discussion.
if you've got a title sponsor and they're going to be named, then of course I'm happy to include them in the any type of verbiage or marketing materials. And I did these as drafts just to show you what could be done. And of course, at the very least, I would hope that since we're part of the 300 celebration, that we could say, help us, celebrate the 300 and maybe use the 300 logo at the very least. But that would make me happy. Other than that, I mean, I look to you for guidance on that.
So I'm just trying to wrap my head around where the marketing for the club stops and the promotion for the sponsor and for the Tricentennial event starts. So it either has to be totally cohesive or, and I think that there's probably a little difference here on, if this is 100% funded by the 501c3 for the Southborough 300, that makes a little difference than whether, like the History in Bloom, where I'm not sure they're going to ask us for any money at all, but we want to help promote it and be a part of it. So that, might have a different bend on how it's marketed. I don't know. I'm open to thoughts. Eric, I know you have some experience in
Yeah.
maybe some of it.
Yeah.
So,
I'd look to you for some guidance as well, and it's
Yeah.
just gonna be a discussion that we table and we can talk about
Right.
behind the scenes.
like,
Sure.
if this is truly sponsored by, one sponsor and is for the Tricentennial, like I'd want to see that,
Yeah.
Southborough's Tricentennial presents Old Fashioned
Right.
Fireman's Muster kind of thing,
Absolutely. Yep.
Um, but I also have to have a better understanding of what exactly has been promised to the individual sponsors.
Okay. Well, allow you to do some of that,
Okay.
and then you and I
Yeah.
can talk, and
Be happy to.
we can circle back on the logo thing and everything. One more update though, Don, is I got the commitment from 2 bands to be able to play up to 4 hours. But I have no stage or any kind of like idea of where we would set that up and let them play. So that's just kind of
Travis, you got a flatbed that you use?
a flatbed. Wow, I guess
Well, there's
I have
There's
seen
a
that.
flatbed at DPW, but there's a stage, there's options you can go with, but yeah, there's flatbeds, if you're looking for affordable, DPW has flatbeds that you can use.
But Keith is working on us.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, it's like a
that's
separate.
Yeah.
a much bigger thing than I think what he's.
How big are the bands?
Just a 4-piece
4 or 5
band.
people.
Yeah. Drummer.
Oh, you're
That's
gonna
really
add
cool.
dinner too?
He's like, how long do you want us to play? I'm like, well, I don't know, He's like
6 hours.
I can have one
Depends on
band
the
play
people.
4 hours. I can have 2 bands play 2 hours each.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So do they,
4 hours is a lot.
Depends on the
do they, is it kind of like when you go to, a hockey or basketball game where they play the music during the timeout and then once they start playing, they
I think
stop,
these guys are just gonna play all day.
even though that, while they're pumping?
Well, I think basically we were trying to get them to, the competition is only 15 minutes per tub.
Yeah.
So like we would maybe have them start and put one band play and then they have the competition and then have another band play. Something like that. I don't know.
That's great.
It's TBD, but my biggest concern is where do we set them up and how?
Little details like getting them power and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, all right, well, so
Yeah.
thanks for we'll talk about the clarification and I appreciate the.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe we could get something together for next meeting.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Hayride, nothing new, and that's the type of thing that we can add to something or have it be a small event for a certain day. Bonfire, there has been some discussion with the fire department,
so great, we can continue without me because I'm,
nothing new at this time, but we may have an update on and with more details on the bonfire in July. So, right.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a minute on the next one's the time capsule. And that's gonna be Eric.
And we want Patty back before I do that? Yeah.
Why don't we just take a breath?
Yeah.
Did you come to a conclusion on material? I didn't get the updates.
So, yeah, I sent All right.
Go for it.
Hold on.
Good.
Ready?
Ready? Go.
Okay, next item is the time capsule. Eric.
So now I get to do my absenteeism, mea culpa. I was out of pocket for about 6 weeks with all of this for varying reasons. Most of it between daughter's wedding, that was a fabulous reason. 16 days in Bordeaux, another
Oh,
fabulous.
bummer. We're not gonna pity you.
The empathy is not building up yet.
No, it's not.
Uh,
Party.
and then I went to a wedding in Ohio. You can give me some empathy for that one. And then I had some minor health issues that were time consuming. So my apologies for that absence. But with the time capsule, the thing that I sent out before I took off, I think it was on the 30th of April, was meant to be sort of a complete overview picture of everything that needed to happen. The biggest things really that we're facing is we need just some hands, because there are a lot of well, let me back up and do this more organized way. In terms of what we're trying to do here, we're proposing a fairly large time capsule so we can put a fairly significant amount of stuff in it. No furniture or lawnmowers going in there. Don't get me wrong about that. But, so we're hoping to get a lot of people to be able to contribute. But that means there's a lot of communication needs to be managed. We do have a document that tells them what we're looking for and guidelines for that already exists. But still, they need to be, every contributor first needs to be brought in and agree to contribute. They need to understand the guidelines, the limitations on what they can do, what we're looking for. Then the things need to be received and processed and stored and managed. And the materials in order to house the stuff in the time capsule so that it doesn't turn into a moldy mess or something in the 50-year time period before it gets open. And there's a lot of things that need to be managed and a lot of attention to detail. And that's just going to take a few different people owning different pieces of the puzzle. I think the document I put out on the 30th gives a pretty good overview of all that. So, and in the meantime, I had a working group. I had a really strong working group, but for various reasons, two of them are on the vineyard until October, and they're, don't want to participate while they're on the vineyard. The other one is spending most of her time in Virginia now, because she has grandchildren down there. So I have to rebuild my group. And then I was looking for the Boy Scouts potentially take a role in managing
Great idea.
a lot of this, because I think it was Framingham. Their troop did that for their time capsule, and they did a great job. So Patty, thank you for being patient with me with all the phone number stuff and resending it to me. I'm going to reach out to George again, pretty much immediately.
And if you don't, just call him. I would say just call him. He's obviously not answering the text.
Right. Yeah.
Or doesn't do email.
Yeah.
Call him. If you don't get an answer, let's circle back to Aaron.
And see if we can get another contact.
Yep.
Because I think that's a strong resource.
There's also 2 troops in this town.
Yeah, that's it. I have not reached out to Troop 1. Is the other one? Is that right? Yeah. I have not done that as yet. I was more familiar with 92. Is that the other one? Yeah, right. Once we get those pieces in place, I think the plan is there for the most part. And I'm going to try to get that kicked into gear for real so that we can. I feel like we need to make progress on this over the summer. We can't wait till fall. It's too late.
I agree. I think that virtually everything that we have planned, we need to, virtually every one of them has to get more horsepower and put more of these things behind us. So
Right.
that we're not scrambling and doing a lousy job.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
that's my worry too.
but as far as the scouts, it is a great resource, same as the public schools.
Mhm.
But
Plus, I mean, 50 years from now, they'll be dying to see what's in there. Look, I can't even remember what I put in there. They're kids, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
they'll be,
Get them involved, right? Because I'm not going to be around when you open the damn thing.
neither will I.
but there's
It's fun.
growing frustration with a lot of I don't know people, but a lot of entities just at least in my opinion, the schools, public schools. Now we have the private schools. They have plans for an event. We can't seem to get the public schools involved hardly at all. So it gets to a point where you just say, all right, forget it. We'll just move on. And then at some point they'll become interested. And to the extent that they can contribute, whether it's the schools or the scouts or anyone else, to the extent that they can contribute on the 11th hour, we'll welcome that. But
It'll be a little late.
yeah, and it's at the point, I guess, where we should just move on from trying to have their involvement at this time.
Right.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Anything more on the time capsule, Eric?
I think that's kind of where we stand. Jamie, I welcome your help. Looking forward to that, and thank you again, Patty, for that. We will track down the scouts one way or the other.
I know a couple of parents in Metro, plays in the golf tournament, donate some money to them and stuff. And I got a couple of friends that have kids in the tree. So
Oh, good. Yeah, so we can get our way in there one way or the other.
absolutely.
Just need to have a conversation, get a yes or no.
We already got a foot in the door, we just gotta ask.
So for the July meeting, we would hope that you would be able to tell us, yes, we've made contact with, we're getting more
Yes.
help from.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next one's Glow Sobo. Joe.
Excellent. So this is moving forward with some great additions. We have a new working group member, Amy Van Ness. She has recently launched an event planning company in Southborough, and so she is on board to help with some of the event logistics for that day, which is great. She's got a lot of enthusiasm and some ideas that we'll just kind of flesh out again with the goal of having these details finalized by September. But excited to have someone else join the committee. And Vanessa, John, and I had already been working hard on researching information about the decor, and we have a meeting tomorrow to actually walk the downtown and look at both the library and townhouse as viable locations for some decorated lighting. We know that there's logistics and other things that would need to be approved, but we felt like it was important to at least get a sense of what the potential could be. So this is a meeting with a landscape company that has done other projects in Worcester downtown and Clinton. So they came highly recommended. I think this was also a project that we were hoping the Eagle Scouts might be able to take on one piece of. And so just to share that we've reached out to that organization for some support there too. Specifically, we've asked them if they might have a student who would be interested in taking on the project of uplighting townhouse and the library, basically just working on the projection of light on the buildings, which would highlight like the wreath decorations. I think that's it. I think I shared at the last meeting that we do have the date confirmed with Community House and that they've been willing to donate eliminate the cost of the rental. We would just have to pay a nominal fee of $100 for the cleaning. So that's really good news. I'm waiting to hear back from them about a contract. So once I get that, I'll obviously share that. I'm assuming Don and Patty, you guys would sign off on that contract. Is that correct?
Contract for the, oh, just for the townhouse, I mean, community house?
Yes, for space rental.
Actually, it would probably be the 501c3 board because they're gonna give you the money. I don't
Got
know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I think,
All of the, I can just tell you that all of the, and this is different. All the parade contracts will be signed supposedly by me and then handed over to Mark Purple, town administrator, who has the authority to, sign contracts for the town.
yeah, but I think that the contract for the community house is just that
It's-
you're
it's
gonna
different.
pay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different.
Which the money is gonna come from the 501c3. So I think, Michelle, you know what? Put a pin in that. We're gonna have to clarify that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Who's gonna clarify that?
I am going to try to.
Clarence, we'll look at the Clarence. This is Clarence.
To clarify a number of positions.
Okay, yeah, that's the one that Vanessa's been talking about, a meeting.
Vanessa's to talk about.
Well, right now, the public will know that you are going to clarify.
I'm going to find out who should clarify that.
Okay, all right.
You clarify to
Yes,
clarify.
okay, I'm gonna clarify, and we'll clarify.
Let's speak about trees.
We'll get to that. Anything more on, Glow Sobo?
Not at this time.
Okay, ceremony on Incorporation Day. I know we've kind of talked about that. It will be something on Tuesday, July 6th, 2027.
Yeah, I was trying to put something together and had attempted to reach out to Mark Purple, and I've talked to Vanessa a couple of times about that, and because I was told that he would be the intermediary for the select board or whatever to approve something. And I haven't had a response. So I can follow up on that.
Okay, I'm gonna be at the select board meeting on Tuesday for our periodic report to them as to what we're doing in our progress. So maybe at that time we can also bring that up. But I agree with you that that ceremony, probably the lead on that, or maybe even the performers of that ceremony would be the select board.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the select board, but for July 2027, it's not necessarily the select board that we have at this moment, which is why I think that I was kind of directing to go through Mark Purple on this. I had kind of teed up a couple of ideas on what should be included in an Incorporation Day ceremony, but I couldn't get any further without someone to discuss it with.
Okay. Missing from the status of events is the legacy trees, one for each village. I have been approached by a tree supplier who offered to donate the trees, depending on the species. And so the next step is to get that in writing so that we can lock that in. But the plan, I was told, is that the trees have to be dug and put in balls in October of 2026. And they spend the winter asleep, like all trees, in the balls. And then in the spring, when they start to wake up, they can be planted as soon as the ground thaws, or anytime thereafter through the growing season. So the decision on the species of the trees and a firm commitment that they'll be donated is the next step. Was that where you were with it, Jamie?
I approached Shrubs and Trees on Route 9. Said, hey man, 300's looking for some trees. And he was like, how many trees you want? What size? What
Yeah.
kind?
That's who you were talking about?
So he basically just, he said, yeah, no problem. But I didn't get it as far into it with the details as you did, as like when and how, when are we gonna do it? But he did, yeah, I asked him, yeah, no problem. So so we hit him from both directions without even knowing.
Yeah,
So I
very
mean,
good.
he's happy to do it, so let's give him the sponsorship he deserves and let him plant the trees. But
He won't plant.
oh well,
He
hey,
donates.
that's fine. Hey, that's right. I'll give you the tree, but I don't plant it.
Maybe J&J will plant it.
Right,
or,
sure.
You
Wayne
can
or
bring in
somebody.
Wayne, yeah,
We
exactly.
can all bring out shopping.
I'll bring it. Yeah, those are big holes. But I mean, I guess the decision does need to be made. What's the species and how large they are and so forth.
Yep.
Or who decides that?
The plan is that we would have, my son, who's a certified arborist, meet with, the town tree warden, Chris Leroy,
Great.
under the guidance of, Bill Cundiff, the DPW director, to, go to those 4 villages and pick the location, and based on the location, to, pick the proper
Right.
species
I
for
see.
that.
Yep.
If it's just in a shady place, there
Right.
might be a different species than in the open field, something like that. But
Great thinking. Yeah.
let the tree people make the best decision.
Mhm.
But the big piece is trees, and
Yeah, he's on it, which is great. To get the support from townspeople is incredible. And so yeah, I mean yeah, I really like the idea, so that's why I wanted you to follow up.
Yeah.
I didn't see it in there.
and I've looked into a plaque, a tricentennial plaque at each of those trees. And be
Sure.
looking to do a little bit more research on that and cost. But that's the way it's done. If you have a special tree for a special event, towns will have a small plaque there.
Sure.
We'll talk about the tree, maybe.
Historic has used a company, and I can get the name of it, but they've been very happy with this company. They did the historic.
Oh, it's Cinerama down on Southfield Road. It's like one of those. This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, Southfield Road. Yeah. I've used them too. That's who did the Seinfeld walk on my road.
Okay, next item is the brick fundraiser. The only comment I think I have on that is I went to pretend like I was gonna buy a brick, which I've already done, but I went to the website and I tried to go to it, but it doesn't exist because it says Southborough whatever .com, and Google sends you to .gov, and on the .gov I don't think it has that QR code or the proper directions. So I talked to Vanessa about that. Somebody's got to go into that and change that so that if somebody wants to buy a brick online, it doesn't say .com, it's .gov or something else. But the .com thing doesn't work. That's my comment on the brick
Where
fundraiser.
did you see that? So where was this? This isn't what you were, I'm confused with what you were telling me yesterday. Where was this? You saw this link?
I typed in Google. No, I'm sorry. I had a hard copy of the brick. It was, it's actually in that case at the town hall when you walk in.
This?
Let me look,
That's not it.
right here. Southbrook.com. You go to that website, it doesn't exist. It sends you to .gov. And that's, as far as I could tell, it wasn't on .gov.
Okay, this is an email address. This isn't a website. Southborough 300 at southboroughma.com.
I typed that in and it said,
But Don, it's an email address, it's not a website.
right, but it wouldn't send me. If I typed that in,
It's not gonna send you anywhere because it's an email address. It's to send an email.
I mean, I suppose I get what he's saying, and I'm Jamie at MetroWestGreensplits.com. If you go to MetroWestGreensplits.com, there is one. And if you're gonna send an email to, Southbrook, whatever it is at the bottom of that thing, Southbrook 300 whatever.com. I mean, it should be, even though you have to own the email, you should probably own the domain as well.
I'll just redirect it.
Or redirect it, right?
Yeah, just,
It
if you
does
own the
redirect.
domain, you don't put up a website, just
Google
redirect
does a
it.
redirect on that. I mean,
Okay.
we can change it here on this, but Vanessa has nothing to do with it.
I just told her about it.
It would be whoever owns the.
Anything more on the brick fundraiser?
How many are sold?
Hopefully we can sell some more.
That was a good number, I thought, already.
We need more.
We need more.
There's a lot of pathways up
Do
at
we-
the park.
We're working on
Do we know the number?
yeah, there's like 100 that have been sold.
Do we know the goal?
The goal originally was 300.
Oh. Well, third of the way there.
I have it approved from 501c3. We're gonna do a townwide mailing at EDM.
Oh, sure.
That's a push for it.
Yeah, an appeal for the bricks.
Yep.
Yep, you might get something, yeah.
Well, as you get closer, I think there'll also
Yeah,
be
I
more of
mean,
an impetus.
but a
to
glass-
participate.
1/3 full is good, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, it's always
now we
room
can
for
make it
improvement.
commercial.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Tricentennial newsletter?
Unless anybody knows HTML that can help me with something.
Coordination with Algonquin High School students. Michelle,
Sorry, it just takes me a second to load up here. So I've reached out again, hoping to get information about a photo project with students for next year. I have not heard back. So I'm hoping again by the end of this month, June, that we will hear something. I know they're dependent on the class schedule and whether there will actually be students participating in a particular photo class next year. So hopefully they'll have that information soon and we'll get a definitive answer. I'll keep trying, is my message.
I've been watching you trying, and that's part of what I earlier said about how frustrating it is to deal with the schools. Okay, other matters properly before the committee, proposed budget for the parade. I think it was 50,000, right?
I think we did have in this file. Actually, I have 75. Is that right?
We'll have to get clarification on that when we get
That seems high. I don't know.
More booms.
well. We're working on with at some point. We'll see how many participants we're getting at this early
I
stage.
think we
And
need
again,
to,
that number may be adjusted up or down because this is Southborough, we can have a huge parade, or we can have whatever we can afford.
that's right.
Future Arts Council grant. Thought I saw that was a moving deadline.
You're talking about the state arts council, right?
I
You're not
think so.
talking about a CPC grant. Yes.
Yes,
So the state arts council, we have to start. They do have a grant for festivals, and something that we're doing may align with that grant program. And some of this stuff needs to be teed up for this fall, depending on when that event is, because I think some of these grants start opening in September and October. They usually are open for like 3 months to do the application, some of them less time. And then a couple of months later, you get a notification on the grant. So I mean, I could probably go in and do a history sweep of what they normally do on a yearly basis, and then we could align something that we're doing. I mean, maybe like the first night thing would qualify. So I will put that on my. Okay, so basically we just want a year calendar of grants.
I was hoping to have a draft, report for us tonight. You know, the, update to the select board. But. And hoping to have more meat on the bone than what we have, but, I'll be sending that to you. I'll be sitting with, Vanessa on Friday morning. And then we'll probably, send that out for, review and comments. Before the meeting on Tuesday with the select board. And then other matters properly before the committee that are allowed, which is, go ahead, Patty.
I have a couple. So I have obtained permission to have a tricentennial table at the Pilgrim Chicken Barbecue, which is this Saturday. Tickets from 5 to 7. So I'm looking for volunteers to man that table.
Another way. Ontario.
Oh, good for you.
I will get you the table.
Yes, we have it. We have a traveling tub of pieces for this.
I'm out of town, but I'll catch you on a rain check next time.
Okay.
I'll be putting up the banners.
Yeah, and
Saturday?
Love to sell some bricks with you or something.
Saturday?
It's
Yeah, at the church.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought you meant.
like we
I
did for
thought,
the,
oh,
no, not the banners.
so
No,
he's saying no, he's
Banner.
gonna put up the banner, but not man the table. And the other one is that just seeking to maybe put together a schedule of doing this at the transfer station. Michelle has spearheaded that for the last year, and I know that she's not looking to commit every Saturday afternoon to that either. And it just means a couple hours.
Yep.
And like I said, we have this traveling tub. All you need is a table to go with it. So
talk trash.
what?
You talk trash.
So we're looking, and I think Michelle's experience is that mid-afternoon is
Yes.
the most popular
Mm,
travel time in and out of the transfer station.
Relate, yeah.
So we are looking, and it's not just for brick sales, it is to raise awareness for the tricentennial and to make sure people know what's gonna go on.
Mhm.
So
Patty, I could help you on Saturday.
the chicken barbecue.
Just send me a little email or text.
Joyce, I can drop off the tub to you.
Drop off the tub.
I can pick it up, just leave it on your porch someday, I'll pick it up. It's the traveling tub of all the tricentennial materials. Except for
I
the
drive right
banners.
by your house.
He has possession of the banners, but it has the tablecloth, the bricks, it has the order forms, it has the marketing pieces.
I'm
Email
just gonna
sign
help. I'll come over.
That's good. And just, another appeal for, I guess, volunteers to help with some of these events. As we're getting closer to Tricentennial year, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background in addition to planning the events. And I think that if we had, more people taking part and expressing interest in it, it would be a positive thing.
Just proliferate.
I think in terms of volunteers, I think the best way for us to continue to solicit is definitely follow up on people who have voiced interest and making sure that they're, recognized and respected for coming forward. And then I think putting together something, like a sign up genius where people can actually commit to something very specific, day, time, role, responsibility. And so I think that's something that can be part of the marketing rollout for the fall. And so maybe that's information that and every one of us that's overseeing a particular event, we can put together that list of the needs, the volunteer needs with the action, the time, and the date. Would that be helpful?
Yes, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think Sign Up Genius is probably a good thing for the actual events, but I'm also just talking about all the stuff that goes on in the background and, yeah. Just.
I think that doesn't feel,
Not just for
I think
the
that feels
event.
confusing to me because so I know all my working groups have volunteers that are specific to actually working on the projects. So I know what we will need is just some event specific items, but maybe if there's things related to the pieces you're working on, if you could like share what those are, we can certainly, put a blurb together for social media and make that request. I think I'm just not clear what needs we still have.
Okay, well, we do have how many open seats on this committee? Two.
Oh, okay.
We're a 9-person committee with.
Yep.
7 people.
Okay, that's definitely not something that we've promoted.
I mean, of course, if the room was full of interested parties, that would be great too.
Yes.
Interesting, right? Yeah. We have a big audience on the
Yeah.
line, right, Travis?
We should release the video of the meeting on YouTube and see how many views we get.
It goes on
Get a
YouTube.
few
Yes.
laughs.
Yeah.
It's always on YouTube.
All right, excellent. How many views have you got?
Okay, so just to be specific, do we want a social media post advertising to committee members? I mean, we haven't unfortunately gotten a lot of response that way, but do we want to do that, or are people interested in like reaching out to their connections to top people that they may know?
An online platform is really interesting. I mean, because where people could see the different things, where places they could get, involved with, and then, like, for instance, if, you have a particular area in your working group that needs someone, like consider that an open seat. You could, post that. I mean, like, hey, I've got enough on my plate, but I can help in other areas, right? It doesn't mean I could rip tickets at the house tour or something like that. I mean, even though I'm not involved in that working group.
Yeah, and that's where Sign Up Genius
Yeah,
would come in
That would
handy
be
for
awesome.
people to volunteer for a specific
because then you can
event.
tell people about it too.
And
Right.
the house tour is gonna definitely need additional volunteers other than the
Sure.
other block of additional volunteers.
But yeah, platform would be great.
Are there specific role job responsibilities that we're seeking from additional committee members?
I kind of drawn the line that if they can breathe, we'll take them.
Yeah. I'm not lacking, volunteers on the day of the event too, there's gonna be parking and coordinating and trash, all kinds of different things
Yeah.
that,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about right now, but it's gonna need to be attended to.
Right,
So-
I guess, so the committee members that we have currently are all overseeing very specific working groups. So I guess I want to be clear, if we're asking 2 more committee members to come on board, are we asking those committee members to then partner up with existing committee members to help take some of the workload off of others? I know we've already expressed we feel like we have as many events and activities as we want for 2027. So I just,
How about the newsletter? When you take something off your plate.
There are, I don't know that anybody on this committee is doing anything about the first day. I know Travis in Recreation is involved in it, but there's not really anybody, I mean, piecemeal. There's people involved in a couple of events or something, but we don't have anybody dealing with that. And some of these things where, you know, like Eric was saying, more bodies and more input would be helpful. So I don't necessarily think at this point we're looking to add on any events. I think that we're probably slightly overmaxed as we are.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, our intention all along was if there's organizations that want to do their own events in conjunction with the Tricentennial, that we can help promote them, but it's on them to, you know, outside of this schedule, it is on them to create their own events. But I think that some of these things that are on here, if there were other members on this committee, there would be things for that person. I mean, you know, I just asked for volunteers for the transfer station and for a chicken barbecue, and nobody can do it. So yeah, I think there's opportunities if there was other people on this committee to step up and take on some of these.
So that's.
I don't think that we are in a position to say, no, we don't need more members.
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to differentiate. Again, I think Patty, what you asked for is someone to go to the transfer station. To me, that's a role that could be filled by an individual who's looking to volunteer 2 hours of time. So again, if we're promoting two people who are looking to commit in a bigger way by attending monthly meetings and being actually on the committee, I just want to make sure that we're being very clear with them. We're asking you to come on the committee, but not create any new events. And we're looking for you to
I think there are
partner
plenty, I think
existing.
there are plenty of things.
Yeah, there are.
As we move forward, there are plenty
Yes.
of things that additional committee members could be able to help out with. And as for, I don't think that, for example, the transfer station, I mean, Michelle knows, I've been there, Michelle has been there. It's not, you can't ask somebody just to volunteer to show up there for 2 hours because they don't know anything about the events that we're planning. They don't know anything about the dates. They don't know anything about the Burke sales. I mean, it has to be somebody that is involved.
In the know.
And it would be good to have a regular presence doing that. But as again, I don't think Michelle wants to be there every Saturday afternoon, and I know I don't.
However, I think what Michelle is trying to decide, like, what are we asking of the new committee member? The committee member is part of the committee. It doesn't have to be a specific role. We're not looking for event planners or marketing. We just need support.
If there's another
Right.
couple of warm bodies here, I'm sure that we can find things to pass on to that person to lighten the load. I don't know that we have to create a job description at this moment.
Well, we have to make it appealing. We have to make it appealing for people to want to be on the committee.
What made it appealing to you, Michelle?
Well, I guess at the point that I came on, it was exciting to me because there was an opportunity to create events and work on those pieces. So, you know, I had the opportunity to be part of the vision for the year, so that was exciting. It would personally, like, it would be a lot less interesting to me if I was just coming on board to I hate to, you know, I think someone just said dumping ground of things that like nobody else wanted to do. Like, I just feel like that's a hard sell.
I don't think that's at all what we're presenting here. We're
No,
presenting
they'd
this as a
be able to make a
cooperative.
material contribution.
This is
So,
a cooperative group, and you know, there's how many committees in this town, and just because you volunteer for a committee doesn't mean you intend on being the star of the show and planning everything. I mean, it's a cooperative group, and we're looking for more team members. That's all.
yeah.
All right.
Be a key part of the committee that is planning the 300
Right.
celebration year
There you go.
anniversary celebration, and that's the
We
general pitch. And I understand your position, Michelle, and why it's excited you, but I think there are people who would just be
Yeah.
interested in contributing.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
too.
To get
Yeah.
Giving back to the community or just donating their time.
We need to move on.
Okay, I
The
moved
next-
it.
Oh, did you have another one?
No, adjournment.
No, the next meeting date is
Meeting date.
being proposed as July 15th, which
Good with me.
looks like a
Uh,
Tuesday. No, that's a Wednesday.
I believe that works for me.
Works for me.
Yeah, that should be okay.
Michelle? July 15th?
Yes, that can work for me.
Incredible. It is.
I move that we adjourn.
A motion's been made to adjourn
Second.
and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Morris, aye.
Fury, aye.
Falcone, aye.
Hoganson, yes.
Thank you.
Older shot, I.
We're adjourned. Thank
Good
you.
job tonight, guys.